We are back in the room, and today I am going to be breaking down exactly how we scaled a coaching business from zero to over $300,000 cash collected in just 7 days and over 380k in revenue. And you can see the Stripe screenshots here. We've done over 158,000 GBP on this processor. We've done an additional 55,000 GBP on this processor, and you can see a message from the client here saying that we cash collected over 220,000 GBP in just 7 days. And to this date, we are now about 3 weeks into this launch, and we have done over $406,000 cash collected in total, and we're probably going to pace towards 450 to 500k in just 30 days of selling. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down everything from start to finish: the funnel infrastructure that we use, the offer and the messaging, the marketing strategy, the indoctrination sequences, the sales process and the team, the launch day strategy, and what we've done throughout the launch week so we could keep revenue consistent. So without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into exactly how we done over $300,000 in just 7 days for our client. So the first thing was generally just mapping out the funnel infrastructure. So this client had a fairly large organic audience. However, he had never sold a high ticket product. So he was selling low ticket previously. He was doing anywhere from probably 80 to 100,000 GBP per month, a little bit consistently, but he started to notice a little bit of a drop off with his lower ticket products. So we kind of come in and plugged in a high ticket product for him. And the traffic sources that we had to hand to actually make this launch successful was, first thing was Instagram with about 100,000 followers on, TikTok, where we had an additional 200,000 followers. We had a free Telegram of about 2,000 people in, a paid Telegram of about 4,000 people in, and then a YouTube channel that was not that active, but it still helped in terms of driving traffic through. And the funnel that we decided to run was a waitlist funnel, but I added my own little twist to it so we could maximize cash as much as possible. So all of these traffic sources would funnel through into a waitlist landing page where they would hand over their name, email and phone number, and then as soon as they joined, we would auto SMS them asking them what had them interested, and then we would auto email them confirming their space, and we would add them into an email sequence where we would then email them for 7 to 9 days straight up until the launch day. And the unique step that we used was we added everyone into a private Telegram community where we could indoctrinate these people multiple times a day, every day, throughout the launch process, so we could collect as much cash as possible. And what we were doing once they were inside the waitlist, like I said, is we were sending them SMS just to basically check in with them. We were doing a 7 to 9 day email sequences to change their belief systems and ultimately convince them on what we're selling. And then we would also be propaganda marketing them in the Telegram community. And then on launch day, we had 2 emails go out, and we had a launch day sequence in the Telegram. We would CTA for people to book a call. The SDRs would then triage. If they were qualified, they would stay on the closer's calendar. The closer would then take the call, close the call or not. And then if they were unqualified, the SDR would then downsell them, / put them into some free communities or stuff like that, so they could get nurtured more down the line. So that was kind of the funnel infrastructure. But obviously the first place that we had to start was generally just understanding who the creator was and who his ICP was and who were the people following him. So how we done this was we started with the offer, the messaging, the ICP research, and we created over a 30-page document going over the creator's personal story. So the defining event that set him on the path he's on now, what was painful about his previous life situation, what it was about his situation that made him want to change, what was the hardest part about making that change, what was his goals starting out, what did he try experiment with, what epiphany made everything click for him, and once he had proof of concept, what was like the biggest hurdles he kind of had to overcome. And we had over 6 pages on that client's personal story, so we could take all of this and use it throughout our storytelling sequences in the Telegram, in our VSLs, in our post-booking assets and stuff like that. And then the next thing we done is we created over 9 pages of ICP research. So we were going over who the customer is, what do they believe about the world, what are their dreams and desires, all of this stuff, the exact words they use when they're talking about their problems, what inside the language they use when they're talking about the business model, stuff like that, and how do they kind of describe their dreams, their desires when nobody's judging them. We also went into their present pain, so what keeps them up at night, what's their biggest frustrations, why do they feel painfully stuck. We went into their desired future. So what is their real motivation? Is it money? Is it control? Is it freedom? Is it to be someone their girlfriend can brag about? Is it to finally feel like the man? All of these things. And then we also went into their internal blocks, their buying triggers, their transformation journey, and then ultimately their market awareness. Are they problem aware? Are they solution aware? How do we need to position this to collect as much cash as possible? And once we got all of this information, we created 2 journal entries, one from a positive perspective and one from a negative perspective, that we would use throughout this whole process in our messaging to create stories that would resonate with his ICP, based on the events that he had occur in his life and based on the information that we knew about them. So once we had that, the next thing was creating an offer that the market would want to buy. So we know as traders that people just want to become profitable. At the end of the day, that is the one goal that people care about, but there is a bigger desire behind just being profitable. And that desire is freedom, is control over money, time, all of these things. So we need to put that throughout the messaging, essentially. So when we created the offers, we had 3 different offers. I think this one here is incorrect because this offer was actually 3.2k, but we had a high ticket offer, which was a 1-to-1 coaching offer, which based on the creator's audience, we knew we wouldn't sell too much of, just because the age of his ICP. And then we had the mid-ticket offer, which was anywhere from 2.8 to 3.2k. And this is probably where 80% of our revenue come from, and 80% of our revenue still does come from. And then we had a low-ticket offer that was anywhere from £800 to £1,200. And the reason that we had this is because we were trying to accommodate for every single person who is on that buying scale. So the people who don't have money and the people who do have money. Because at the end of the day, they all have the same goal of having time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. So why would we not offer them a product to sell? Once we done that, we actually had to go in and we had to frame the messaging correctly, because the creator didn't want to spend all of his time coaching. He's got other businesses that he runs, like a supplement company, other trading groups, and a few different businesses on the side. And so what we needed to do is we needed to position this well, because he wasn't going to be doing all the fulfillment. He's still involved in the fulfillment and doing coaching calls here and there, but we need to frame it correctly, even though he's not going to be the main person doing the fulfillment. And the way that we went about this is by using the Zerkanic effect of having an underground mentor. So this is the person who coached the creator to where he is now. And if you see here how I've broken this down, I've broken it down into the core promise, the scarcity and the exclusivity, and then the emotional drivers. And I'm going to show you how each one ties into exactly what we are doing. So the first thing is the core promise. So as you can see here, we have a transformation storyline. So we're always just talking about, we're always trying to take the reader or the prospect through a story to make them feel some type of emotion, because people buy it on emotion and they take action on an emotion. So as you can see here, transformation storyline, we have that took me to 7 figures by 22. That's the transformation. So look here, from a dead-end job making 2k a month to 7 figures by the age of 22. What does this do? Well, it gives Harry immediate credibility, which Harry has what the audience wants, and it creates hope, because in the headline, we are actually tying them into it. So we're saying then how you can use it to get to ICP, desired outcome, which you can see here. Desired outcome is aspirational result, lock in life-changing payouts. And what does this do? It's not just about the money. It's about the identity shift. It's about the freedom, and it's about the validation that they get from being a consistently profitable trader. So it's more than just making money. We're going into their pain points. So that, as you can see here, the traders have tried it all, but still can't pull payouts because they may have passed an account, but then they just can't get to that payout phase where they actually make the money. So we're digging in on that pain. We're going into the credibility of the creator, and then we're putting an aspirational result in place to get them to take action. Next thing was scarcity and exclusivity. So obviously we had the deadline anchor, which was here on August 24th. This was the big date that we were pushing throughout the whole launch, which I'll go into in a second. And then we had the gatekeeping. It's not open to everyone. Only a handful of students are going to get access to this. Proof of demand, which I'll go for in a second, what we was kind of doing to create more scarcity and push people further in. And then the next thing was the frustration and pain. So blowing funded accounts, inconsistent strategies, grinding for hours without progress, and then the hope and the aspiration, proof of someone their age who's already broke free from the system and went and done it. And then the underground mentor was the secret edge that we played throughout this whole process. And then the identity shift is, I'm not just learning, I'm becoming the one of the rare ones who actually makes it in the market. And the waitlist is basically their insider access. So it makes them feel chosen. It makes them want to take action because they're getting exclusive access to this first. In terms of the funnel that we run with this, very, very simple. So like I've already broken down the messaging behind the headline. So we're calling out our ICP here at the top. And then we've got the big date that we're talking about. Then we've got a unique mechanism here. So the unique mechanism was the execution protocol, because people may know how to read the markets, but they don't know how to execute trades. So that's what we're teaching them how to do. And then, like I said, we've got that credibility here, 7 figures by 22. And then we are also pulling the prospect in with their dream outcome. Had some scarcity here, saying 5,000 members to keep exclusivity. And then we just collect their full name, their phone number, and their email address, and then a CTA to join the waitlist. What we also done is we also gave them a little bit of a boost. So what do you actually get when you join the waitlist? Well, first thing, they're going to get early access before we even open to the public. The next thing, they're going to unlock fast action bonuses, which we'll never offer again. So this is like a little perk if they join the waitlist. They'll be the first to see inside the execution room, and they will get a private invite when the doors open. And we were able to push so many people in here because we was using scarcity widgets, stuff like that. So each time someone would land on this page, they would see this number here going up. So it'd be 2,949, it'd be 2,950. And people are like sheep. So when they see this, they're going to automatically want to join because they see other people joining. And we had a few more scarcity widgets as well. Next thing, once someone obviously give over their details, they are now on our email list and they are technically in the wait list. But what we would do is we would get them to confirm. So we get them to obviously confirm their waitlist subscription, so they receive all of the emails that we send it out. But then what we would actually do is we invited them into a private Telegram community where we said we will be breaking down the whole system and giving them exclusive insights daily. So people are going to click this, they're going to join the community, and then that's just a few more touch points that I will go through later in the video on how we was able to collect such a large amount of cash. But that was kind of overall the offer, the messaging, the waitlist funnel that we decided to run. So how did we actually go about getting people on the waitlist so we could sell to them? Well, there's a few different things that we've done. We've done some story sequences, we done some IG posts, we done some reels, and we also had a YouTube video, and we had the TikTok link in bio. So as you can see here, I'm going to break it down from start to finish. First thing was a story sequence. This here was one story sequence. So as you can see, this goes up to like over 20 days worth of stories. So first thing is we're announcing it. So he's never done anything like this before. So look, something's coming for traders. We've had enough of losing like amateurs. It's not a course. It's not another strategy. It's a weapon. This time it's different. I'll explain more tomorrow. For now, answer this. And here we had a poll. So this poll was going over their pain points. So then throughout our messaging, we're picking up all these pain points that we can target on the stories and target within the Telegram community. Day 2, we announced the fact that it's with the underground mentor. So as you'll see throughout this process, we played that angle throughout the whole thing. So I've been working with someone behind the scenes, no Instagram, no fluff. And like, if you actually look at this, like, it looks like a fucking movie trailer. Like, look how insane this story sequence actually looks. So then we had day 2. Then we had day 3, just really, really creating intrigue and creating hype. So when we eventually drop that wait list, that people join. And then here we had a little poll saying, would you want early access before the public sees it? And then here there was another poll saying, yes, get me access. Maybe I want some more information. Then we went on to day 4. So day 4 was the day before we actually announced the waitlist. So we're just kind of going over exactly what the trader wants. They want consistency. And then we're talking about the pain points, the fact that they're fighting a professional war with amateur tools, and that is going to end tomorrow because you're going to get access to this thing that I've been building for the last 12 months. And this is for the people who have passed the challenge but blew it because they've got the most pain. They can catch a move, but they can't scale their profits. So a second pain point, and people who feel like they're one level away but they can't break through. So we're targeting the people who are already in pain. We're not trying to sell people on this new business model, on this way to make money. We want to target the people who have already been doing it, already believe the system, but they have the pain of not being able to do it profitably and consistently. Next thing, here, again, we're just talking about tomorrow. I'm going to open up the doors. This is exactly what you're going to get access to, and this is what you're going to be taught inside the execution room. And then day 5 is when we announced the waitlist, and we said exactly again, this isn't a course, this isn't some recycled strategy. This is a hands-on mentorship, nothing like I've done before. Second story, boom, send them to the waitlist. A load of people join, and then we had a little break. I had 1 day story break. Then after that, we're just putting more credibility on the creator so that we're showing that he has got 25k payouts, that he's got 18k payouts. And like once they join the waitlist, we're going to be showing them exactly how he does this and how he's able to get these results. And then we had a link down here that we would send people to. So then they ultimately join the waitlist, come down, you've got day 8. So then we're talking about pain points, how this is going to help them overcome them pain points. Day 9, we're talking about student results that he's previously got from other programs that he's sold. And we're setting a big goal. So like now we're talking about the Underground Mentor, but we're also setting a huge goal that we want to bring people into. So now throughout the messaging, we're saying that by the end of the year, we want 3 million in student profits. So that's a big goal for Harry to achieve. And then what we do to pull people in a little bit more is they get intrigued by the big number of 3 million. And then what we do is we actually bring them in and we say, how much of that 3 million is going to be yours? Are you going to take all of it? You're going to take a little bit. You're going to take 10k. You're going to take 20k. You're going to take 100k. We're bringing them in. We're creating intrigue and we're getting them to take action. And we've done this for about 7 days where we're just actively pushing people into the waitlist every single day, talking about pain points, talking about results, telling them what is included and breaking it down, just basically creating a load of scarcity. And as you can see here, we've got literally branded on everything. And like I said, this looks like a movie trailer. Like if you're watching this day by day, you're automatically going to be intrigued and you're going to want to join the waitlist, even if you're not a trader, just because you want to know what's coming. And then we're going over about him and his girlfriend and what he's been able to do for her since he learned trading. And then more scarcity. Tomorrow we're shutting the doors. After tonight, you're either in or you're out or you're watching from the sidelines. Join the waitlist. Again, pushing on that goal of 3 million in student profits and bringing them into that. And then after we closed the waitlist the day before, we just said everything's ready, the calls, the sessions, the direct access to the Underground Mentor who changed my life. And for the ones who made it on the waitlist, it is game time. Launch day, we had a video go out, say, all right, it's here. Everyone who's on the waitlist, check your emails, check the Telegram community, book a call, because now it is time to make that change that we have been talking about. Alongside that, obviously, we had the Instagram posting strategy. So we got a banger feed post and then we wrote a whole story here that you can see about Harry's journey. And then this CTA'd people to the waitlist. So we just sent them a link via ManyChat and that pushed more people to the waitlist. And then we was also posting daily reels saying comment waitlist if you've been waiting for the right time. Comment waitlist again, comment waitlist. All again, just talking about that date. And all of these people commenting waitlist, they are now getting sent into the waitlist where we can further indoctrinate them. Same with the YouTube video, link in description on every video. And then TikTok, we didn't do too much pushing on because like the leads are always bad quality from there. So we just had it in the link in bio to push a little bit more traffic. But that was kind of everything in terms of like how we actually went about pushing people into the waitlist essentially. Next thing now is like, it's all good pushing these people into the waitlist, but like, how are we going to change their belief systems and how are we going to convince them to buy this offer / this system that we are selling them? And the way that we do that is just by maximizing consumption. So as a marketer, you should always be putting the focus on making your sales team's life as easy as possible. And the easiest way about making your sales team life as easy as possible is to have maximum consumption. So you want people to be consuming content around results, building credibility, building proof, all of this, because consumption, the more touch points they have, the more they get to know you, the more likely they are to buy. So as you can see here, we had the waitlist emails that we were running. So we had a confirmation email and then we had 7 days of emails where each day we're handing different things. So first day, we're talking about their pain points, that this isn't their first time trying. So we're digging that pain. The next day, we're talking about the transformation journey. So it's like not the job that didn't kill me, it's pretending I was okay. So he's starting to resonate with his audience, talking about the journey that he went through. Email 3, we're breaking down exactly why they're still stuck and how they can break out of this loop that they're in. Email 4 is breaking down what the mentorship looks like. And then email 5 is reminding them we're only 48 hours out now and you've got one shot to take action. Email 6, last reminder before the call link drops. And then obviously on launch day, we had email 1 that went out telling them to book a call. And then we had email 2 where we sent them a screenshot of the calendars already getting full, CTAing them to book a call again. So that's what we was doing on the email side of things. And we had about 2,300 people on the wait list, if I'm correct, and about 1,800 people who joined the private community as well. So in terms of the Telegram messages, we scripted everything. So we've got 6 pages here of messages, hour by hour, what we're doing. So like, look how crazy this is. And this is why we was able to collect such a large amount of cash. And every single call, which I'll show in a second, because our first sales call on this offer took 21 minutes and it was a piff. 21 minutes. Shout out Jack Scott, you're my fucking guy, bro. Top dog closer, close the deal. 21 minutes, absolutely open the floodgates for everyone to come in and just start ripping 20, 30, 40, 50, 60k days consistently throughout the launch. So when they join the Telegram, we obviously have the pin message, which kind of goes everything. And then as you can see here, look, we have multiple messages a day. And look, this one here is an identity starter post. And then here we've got a proof drop. Then we've got a belief break-in post. Then we've got a personal story post. We've got a poll, getting people engaged, more proof. Exactly, again, social proof stack. Then we've got side-by-side payouts. So that day was purely about showing people the results we've already got. Then we have voice notes, what Harry is sending in. So they actually hear him talking. It's just not some marketer. And then on day 4, we had the reveal of the mentor and who is going to be helping him out. And then we had scarcity drops. We had proof drops. And throughout this, every single day, we are just indoctrinating people in the waitlist. So I'll show you what that looks like right now. So you've got the Telegram community here, but even if I pull up Telegram now, you can kind of see that we was doing. So boom, they've landed in the Telegram. Now they're in the Telegram. What do they do? So first thing they do is they come to this page here. And on this page, it is basically like a thank you message, joining the waitlist. It's kind of setting some expectations. And then the more we go throughout this, is like, you can see every single day we're sending messages in, we're sending voice notes in, we're sending screenshots of his payouts. We're talking about student results, more student results again. And like every single day, people were seeing stories from us, they're seeing emails from us, and they're seeing, they're getting indoctrinated in this private community. Talking about, like, look, here we go, we have guys ripping 20k trades. One of the students hit a 20k trade. We send that in there, we show people that it is possible, it's not just Harry. And then we're talking about the underground mentor, the whole angle that we was playing. We're talking scarcity of how many people were in here, how quick the calls are going to go. And then on launch day, boom, we drop a fucking video, we drop a message, and we book a load of calls. In the first 2 hours, we done over 250 sales calls booked. We didn't even have enough closers. Luckily, I'll go into in a minute, kind of like the how we kind of manage our sales team. We was able to onboard another like 3-4 closers, like in the click of the fingers, literally within an hour. So that issue was solved. But I'll be honest, we probably could have collected like an additional 30, 40k, like if we had more closers on when all them people were trying to book a call. But as you can see here, is we were just indoctrinating people for literally like 7 days straight. And even to this day now, like post-launch, we're still posting in here daily. So we're still talking about, because now people are actually in the program and they're getting results. So we're sharing these results. We're sharing, look, someone's bought a car with the profits that they've made. We're talking about the good feedback, full transparency in here. Great to hear, bro. The whole experience from the start to finish has been awesome. You guys are killing it. More student profits, more profits. So we're just still to this day using this to market people. Like you can see that all the way out to 17th of September. So literally yesterday, we're still using it.
2 bags up,
and people in the group. So absolutely crushing on that side of thing. So that is where I would say probably the majority of our cash come from, was purely down to the fact that everyone was in that community and they was getting indoctrinated day by day by us. And that first message that I showed you, so that one here where we're confirming like they're in the wait list and now they're in the community, what we actually done is we directed them to a consumption asset. So like all we're trying to do throughout this whole process is just maximize consumption. We're trying to build proof, we're trying to touch pain points, and we're trying to build proof again, and we're just trying to maximize consumption, which is why we hit them on every single channel. And how we done that here is boom, they join, and now look, you've made it to the execution room waitlist. The countdown starts now. You've secured your spot. This is a system built from the underground mentor, again, like the unique mechanism that we're kind of using, who's helped me pull 7 figures from the market without ever showing his face live. Again, we're just talking about that big date of when we're launching, so people are prepared. And then watch this now. And then we had a 12-minute long VSL talking about a personal story, talking about the execution worm, what is going to be included. And then here, we just kind of go over exactly what is included in the program. And then on the other side, we had some waitlist member fast action bonuses. So if you join now, the first 10 traders, they're going to get entered into a MacBook giveaway. Like, so they're going to get a chance to win a MacBook, literally a 10% chance. So you're basically going to get your mentorship fee back. Next thing was a past 10K prop firm account. So you're going to get an account with $10,000 that you can just go start trading with. And then bonus 3 is waitlist only early access price. So you're going to get a price that will not be there post launch. So that's what we kind of done in terms of indoctrination start to finish. We had IG stories going out in like coherent to this. We had Telegram marketing, we had email marketing, we had VSL consumption pieces, we had voice notes going out every single day with the ultimate goal of getting people to buy what we were selling them essentially. And now if we go into the sales process and the team, so it's all good doing all of this marketing, doing all this preparation, but like how can we now convert all of these book calls, all of these leads into hard cash that we can take home and we can use to reinvest to scale the business consistently and get to these $400,000 to $500,000 months consistently. Well, the way that we done it is we had 2 different buckets of closers. So we've got an in-house partnership, like we have a full coaching program of sales reps. We've got about 200 sales reps, I'd say, maybe more. Correct me if I'm wrong, Connor, but we've got about 200 sales reps, 300 sales reps who we can just tap into at any point in time because they're trained by us. They know our processes and they can just plug into our offers literally in the click of a fingers. So how we actually structured it is we had 2 buckets. We had tier 2 closers and we had tier 1 closers. Tier 2 closers, they are, say, a little bit less experienced. They're probably not the best people on the team. So what do they get? They get the tier 2 leads. They get the leads with less to invest and less intent. And then we have tier 1 bucket, which is the top of the top of the top closers. And what do they get? They get the creme de la creme when it comes to the leads. So they get the high quality leads and the tier 2 closers get the lower quality leads, because the main thing that we're trying to do is close rates cool. All of this is cool, but we want to make sure that we have a high cash per booking. So who is our most profitable closers? So the leads with the most investment go to the most profitable closers. The leads with the least investment go to the least profitable closers. Team structures. We had 2 triagers who was basically calling up all of the leads, confirming the appointments, cancelling them if they were unqualified. We had 7 tier 1 closers and 6 tier 2 closers. And you can see here the Slack channel with like 18 members in. And what we've done is we built out a full pitch deck for every single offer. And then in this pitch deck, we can basically go through and we're identity selling them. We're going over exactly what's included. We're talking about the waitlist fast action bonuses, how much it will be post launch, what you're going to get access to today based on you being in the waitlist. And then the sales flow that we had. And like, this is the thing, we're still making more consumption. Yes, they've had 14, 15 days of consumption with us, but we're trying to get more consumption. More consumption. Consumption means they're going to buy. So as soon as someone books a call, the SDR will triage, the call will be taken and the deal will be closed. But then what we would also do for everyone booking a call, yeah, you've had the Telegram marketing, yeah, you've had the emails, but now let's fucking blast you with some more emails so you can buy from us. So as you can see, look, we've got a confirmation email that goes out. We've got an email that goes out 65 hours before, one that goes out 48 hours before, 33 hours before, 27 before, 20 hours before, 15 hours before, 5 hours, 8 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour before. We are sending all of these emails pre-call. When they show up to this call, they just want to hand over the money because they've had literally now over 2 weeks of just pure indoctrination from us telling them to fucking buy. Then we also have SMS that kind of guides them to go read these emails, and they also get sent to a post-cooking page. So this pre-call page, first thing it's going to do, it's going to congratulate them for booking a call. Your slot is now saved, essentially. Step 1, you need to go in, you need to confirm your call. Once you confirm your call, what you need to do is you need to watch this video here. This video is basically going to pre-frame them. It's going to cover all of their objections. It's going to go into exactly what's included in the mentorship, and it's going to tell them how to show up to the call. So when they show up to the call, they are ready to buy. Next thing, we just want to go over a few results. So we're going to be talking about, look, Yadian got a 2.8k payout. This guy, he done over 1,200 in profit. Amid, he done over 9k payout. So we're just building more credibility. And then where most of the money actually comes into is you need to be creative. Like, you need to have access to different payment processors, different financing options and all of this. So we had access to ClearPay, we had access to Klarna, and we had access to Split It, and we also had a couple different Stripe accounts so we could distribute our funds correctly to kind of mitigate any problems that would happen going forward. And then now, launch day strategy. How do we actually launch on the day? I know I went into this briefly earlier. First thing is an IG story talking about all of the calls that have been booked. Then we had the Telegram messages telling them that the calendars are open, creating more scarcity, that the calendars have now closed because all the spots have gone. And then exact same thing, 2 emails on launch day, and then on the launch day booking page, which is where you can get even more creative. Instead of just dropping a Calendly link, we sent them here and we say, look, now the calendar is now open, book your strategy call. This will be shut off at 400 calls. So that's what we're saying. At 400 calls, we're closing the calendars. That is it. We are done. Then we have a routing form here. So based on their income, if they had below 2K monthly income, they would go to tier 1. If they had above 2K, they would go to tier 2 calendars. So that's that done. They would then submit, and then they'd get redirected to the calendar where they could schedule a call. And then throughout the page, we're just showing more proof. We're building more scarcity. So like I said, that 400 that we was talking about, we've got a scarcity widget that's saying, look, 238 of them call slots have already gone out of the 400. So it basically shows them like, look, if you don't act now, these are going to be gone by like in the next 2 hours. So like you've got to take action. Once again, we're going over them fast action bonuses for the waitlist members, where we've got CTAs to book their strategy calls, and then we've got more student results. We've got 3.3k payout from Jeremy. We've got this guy who's just paid for a holiday with his profits. You got Omid, 9k payout again, 1.2k in profit. CTA taking them back to that calendar to ultimately book the call. That was the launch day. That is where we booked a load of calls, done a load of cash collected. And then the final thing is the actual launch week. So what was we doing throughout the week to consistently bring cash in and consistently book calls? Well, we was doing daily stories. So a couple of days after, we shared a picture of the calendar saying, look, this is how many calls we booked. We're just creating a little bit more hype. Within 24 hours, we had 400 people book a call and a load of traders take action and join, which if I come from the Telegram, we was doing the exact same thing. I think if I come in here, there's one video, and like this video really ripped for us in terms of getting more. So look, first thing, we sent a screen recording of all of the calls getting booked into the calendar. And then a few days into the launch, once people actually started joining, is we started sending in screen recordings of people actually being in the group. So like here, look, you can see throughout the launch process, been great, mate. Everyone's very helpful. Definitely been difficult, but getting into it, no experience. Let's just say I'm on the way to making back the money that I paid to be in here. He nearly made the money back within like 4 or 5 days of joining the fucking mentorship. Like, that's just going to make more people want to book a fucking call. Like, it's insane. Like, it's generally insane. We're showing, look, everyone in morning chat, talking, stuff like this. And we're just ultimately creating more scarcity by showing other people join. We've done that here. Then we're sharing, look, we had a 1 to 14 risk to reward. That was the first ever trade taken in the mentorship program. So we posted that. What happened? A load more book calls. Again, Sunday 24th, I opened up doors to the execution room, and we're just showing the feedback that we're already getting from the program, as you can see here. Same here, couldn't ask for better. Taught it incredible for me, excited for the future. Aces, mate, think everyone's excited to make progress. Very transparent. Luke is very good at explaining his points. I personally thought it was really good. He's really transparent and patient with us. Boom. Everyone is just hyping up the program, and we are showing them that they're enjoying the program. Look, again, here, more results. Have to trade without emotions. Showing a result like he just hit that trade there. A nice little 1 to 7 hour trade. Another trade down here that was profitable. And then what we done, because the calls started to die down a little bit, is we then opened it up to the public. So look, we said, after sharing some of the feedback, my DMs went absolutely crazy. Would you guys want access? Yes, get me in now. Maybe I would like to learn more. And then the next day we dropped again the calendar saying, look, like when we open up these slots, they are going to go in the fucking click of a finger like that. So you need to take action now, and you need to essentially you just need to take action and book this call. Otherwise all the spots are going to be gone. And then we done a DM execution. We had all of the setters obviously respond to the DMs, booking the calls. And then what we also done is we also had an outbound DM setter who reached out to every single person who reacted to this poll here and ultimately booked the calls. And then, like I said, throughout the Telegram, we was just doing this throughout the whole process essentially. But obviously this was fucking way too much value that I've just given all of you guys today. It's a little bit tapped, to be honest, that I've just given you this, but I kind of want to show, look, we are the fucking dons when it comes to info. If you want to scale your info, if you've never launched a high ticket and you want to make a serious amount of cash with your high ticket, give me and my boy Connor a message, and we can come in. We can do that for you. So that's kind of everything. I've went down everything start to finish, exactly how we went about the funnel infrastructure, all the way to the actual launch process, to the sales team. So I hope you guys found a lot of value in this. If you do want to launch your own high ticket offer, there is a link down below. It will take you to a short video, and if it makes sense, book a call with myself and we'll get to know a little bit about your business and how we can implement something similar for you. And for all you growth operators out there watching this, you can go and you can try do this, but you're probably not going to do it at the to the standard that we done it. But good luck with it, and I hope that you all found this very valuable, and I'll see you in the next video.